Hello, BookTube, and welcome back to my science fiction videos. And today is an official announcement for a reading project that will start in January. It had the original plans for it were to start in December, but because of some health issues that I've had, I've put it off until January. And probably in the long run, that's probably the best thing because December is a busy month for everybody with Christmas running up, and then so we can slide into it in January. And that's the Future History Project, and more specifically, Isaac Asimov's Future History. But not just Isaac Asimov. We will be adding stories and novels from other writers that have sounded in and filled a few gaps. And that includes, well, for Isaac Asimov, that's the robot stories and novels, the Empire novels, and Foundation, as well as a few other stories and novels that he sort of worked into the future history as he went along. And as I say, that will start in January, and it will include extraneous material. I do have a list if anybody wants reading a complete reading list. Then, well, when I say complete, it might change a little bit as we go along, but it's sort of the working plan for it. And just email me, and I can email you the list. Because there's been delays, and I sort of was starting this quite early in the year, like around July, I think, August, yeah, July, I think, that I sort of had the spark of the idea. But with it was a busy autumn for most as well, so it's took a while in its germination. So we had a number of other co-hosts, but some of those have got done other things and a few no longer making videos, but that's fine. There's 3 co-hosts, and there's a number of other booktubers that will be participating in this, but not specifically as co-hosts. Co-hosts will be myself, Mark Richardson, and the bookish Bryants at this point. That may change, and hopefully it will, with a few others by January. But I've got a reading list for January, and it starts out with the robot stories, which all of them are contained pretty well, or most are contained in the Complete Robot. This is my Voyager, Harper Voyager edition. It's fabulous covers on these. They're just sadly poorly made, really poorly made paper. It's it's poorly made. But this is Harper Voyager, and the first stories, like, it will split it up with 5 short stories per week, so it's not the length, it's just the number of stories. The first week in January, we will do A Boy's Best Friend, Sally, Someday, Point of View, and Think. And again, I'll put all this down in the description. And then the second week will be True Love, Robbie, Robot AL 76 Goes Astray, Victory International, Stranger in Paradise. Third week will be Segregationist, Let's Get Together, Insert Knob A in Hole B. And that's actually not in the Complete Robot. That is in Nightfall and Other Stories, or there's a few other collections that it's in. Runaround, the complete that's in the Complete Robot, and Reason. And the last week in January will be Catch That Rabbit, Liar, Satisfaction Guaranteed, and the last 2 are from I guess it would be a compilation of stories by other writers called, this is just a very poor reading copy that I picked up quite a while ago. I've got a hardcover of it, but I just couldn't lay my hands on it now, so this will suffice. It's Foundation's Friends, edited by Martin H. Greenberg, and it's stories in honor of Isaac Asimov. Not all are Foundation related, but the two that we'll be reading at the end of January will be Balance by Mike Resnick and Blot by Hal Clement, and they're both in this collection. There are other ones in here. They're not on any lists that I found. I will sort of be reading them as I go along, or rereading. I've read most of them, I think, in the past, but memory has failed whether or not they're part of the future history. I don't think they are, but just in case, we can sort of shoehorn them in somewhere along the way. So there we go. That's for January, and again, that will be all in the description in the box below. And yeah, so the idea is to read them not chronologically when they were written, but chronologically more or less internal story-wise. So these start out, like the first stories start out in the mid-90s, 1990s, but they were written in the 50s and 60s for that Isaac Asimov wrote them. And there's novels that will start, but they will be the first novels is there's a trilogy of novels about Susan Calvin, which is a very important character in the future history of robotics within the stories. And there's an interesting, which we will get to. Anyway, like there's a story of her and her creation by Isaac Asimov, which I'll go along and add little things like that as we go along with the stories. But there's a trilogy that was recently written in the mid to late teens of 2000s. I have not read them. I've got them, so this will be a first read for me for these. There is a bit of a, like I say, we're doing it chronologic. There's a bit of a hiccup with that, because in Isaac Asimov's future history, Susan Calvin fits into sort of the late 1990s into the 2000s. This novel trilogy puts her in the 2030s ish. So I'm going to leave her the novels in that period of the 2030s, and then we'll go through everything else. And the way to work it, there'll be a few of us that will be. I'll be reading the entire list in all the books, and I believe Mark Richardson will be as well. But I'm sure he'll explain. And I believe Scott Bryant will be doing the similar. But it's not necessary to read outside of Isaac Asimov, or even read all of Isaac Asimov. It's whatever, if you'd like to just follow along and read some of the short stories, that's perfectly fine. If you've heard of Isaac Asimov before and never read him, that's probably a great place to start, would be the short stories. And yeah, but I'll be reading through everything and most of it's all rereads, 99% of it. So this will be fun to go through, but reading them in the chronological order. I've never read them that way, so hopefully it'll give me a new perspective. And my idea is, along the way, we'll be doing a little other videos regarding the life of Isaac Asimov. I've got his autobiographies, so hopefully I can dip into those and bring out information. But also too, I've got a lot of critical material that's for Isaac Asimov, and hopefully I can throw some of that in as well as we go along, because I find that kind of interesting. It gives different perspectives on the stories. So yeah, so that will start in January. And again, if anybody wants to participate, please do, and I can send you a list. Just email me. My email will be down in the description box. I'll leave a space like I do before the @ symbol and after the @ symbol. So if you just want to copy it, paste it into your into your email program, and then just backspace or delete that. Just delete that space beginning before the at and after the at. And as they say here, Bob's your uncle. And so yeah, so I look forward to doing this. I'm really look forward to do it. I was disappointed in myself that we couldn't do it in December, but I think it's working out actually better for everybody that it'll start in January. There's a lot of books, there's a lot of material to go through, so it's not going to be a very, very, quick thing we'll do. This will take up a good part of 2022, and I'm committed to do this. And as I say, it's a lot of material. It's a lot of material, and we might pick up the pace at times or slow it down. We'll see how it goes. But I figured, a mutual consensus between us is that 5 stories a week is doable for January, and then we might pick it up a little bit in February, and then we'll see how the novels go. There's some longer novels, and then there's some short novels. So we'll see how that goes. But I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you join us. And take care, everybody, and have a Merry Christmas. It's coming very soon.